and welcome to this episode of Totally TM, ratio lighting in field-based macro photography with an old rose and a couple of stink bugs. First, a note about the equipment that I'm using and the equipment that I'm not using. The equipment that I'm not using is the Olympus Twin Flash STF8 macro lighting system, which is about $480. No doubt that's an excellent system. So for considerably less money, I've set up a rig, which is two Godox TT350 flashes with high-speed sync, controlled wirelessly with a Godox trigger. Each of these flashes is about $85. And then a flash bracket with adjustable arms so that I can move the flash around, and I've just put it on an inexpensive tripod. Now this rig will cost probably about $200, which is considerably less than the $480 for the more professional rig. By ratio lighting, I simply mean lighting a subject with two or more lights where the lights are in unequal power. Since these are manually controlled, I can control them between 1 to 1 or all the way out to 1 over 124. And I have two lights, an A light and a B light. And I did a couple of pre-test shots on this old rose and determined that I thought what would work with my macros of the stink bug would be 1/4 power on this light and 1/16 power on that light. It's more a matter of trial and error in terms of trying a couple of exposures. Now the reason I'm calling this in the field is that this arrangement is very portable. As you can see, I can hold this, and the Godox TT350 flashes, two of them, are very easily put on this adjustable bracket because they're very lightweight and it makes it very easy to adjust your light. So the intention of this little episode is to get a live insect, and I captured a couple of stink bugs that hatched on a warm day a couple of days ago, and I put them in this little thing here. And I'm going to put the stink bugs on this old rose and see if I can't get a macro shot of them using what I'm calling ratio field lighting with these two Godox TT350 flashes. The camera that I'm using is the Olympus EM1 Mark II, and I have the Godox Pro trigger on it. I'll make sure everything is on. There we go. And I'll just see if this thing fires okay. We won't try and do anything quite yet. Alright, so both flashes seem to fire. And now all that matters is to sort of get a stink bug out of my little box here, stick it on the old rose, and fire away a couple of shots. Because these are macro shots, I want maximum depth of field, so I'm using f/16, and the shutter speed I think is 1/200th of a second. So they look pretty active, the stink bugs in there. So I have some tweezers, and let's see if we can do this without making a fool of myself. I'll just tap it a couple times to make sure they're near the bottom. Okay, just go near the bottom. There. Okay, so I'll open this up, I'll grab a stink bug, put it on the rose, and fire a couple of shots. Get back in. All right, come on. Come on. There we go. Whoops. Come on, guy. On the rose. You see how I can maneuver the light fairly easily. He's sort of disappeared behind the rose there. Let's see if he'll come around the mountain, as they say. Come on, you old stink bug there. All right, let's put another stink bug on there. We'll have this rose infected by stink bugs. Get the light. Go this way. Go this way. That's it. That's it. Come on. Okay. I think we've exhausted our stink bugs. But let's see if they're hanging out on the back side of the rose. Oh, there they are. They're on the stem, so I can move my light. They're trying to fly away, but I'm faster, maybe. There they are. There's one. And you can see I can vary the light a little bit, bring it in closer. I can bring it out. It seems to be blown out. And I can just keep firing away. I can maneuver the light so I get a little bit more on his face. And let's see, we'll see if there's any more on this rose here. And that one just flew away. So I think I've exhausted my stink bugs here. There's no more stink bugs in here. The rose is still old. I'll put it back in a vase. So my wife, oh, there's one. I see it on there. It's on the back side here. He's just hiding in the petals. Likes it down in there. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. Let's see if we can get him. All right. That was nice. Move it out a little bit. And you can see I'm a little bit rough with maneuvering the light, but it's very lightweight, and I'm getting too much light, so I'll quickly bring this one down to an 1/8, and I'll bring the other one down to about a 32nd. Again, 2 lights, different ratios. And doesn't have to be 1 to 2 or anything like that. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. And let's see if I come like this, come around like that. Ooh, that was nice. I got some backlighting on the rose petal. Let's see if I can do that again. Try that one more time. See, I'm getting some backlighting on the rose petal. Oh yeah, That's very nice. Want a little more on the bug itself, so I'll tilt this over. See how easy that is? Okay, so that's the idea. This is a field-based ratio lighting macro system with two Godox TT350 flashes. They're AA batteries, very lightweight, with a Godox trigger. I've never had any problem with the flashes firing and the trigger close to the flash in all the times that I've been using this kind of a system. And the idea of ratio lighting is simple. Two or more lights set at different powers, and that it's flexible and easy to carry around, makes it field-based. And finally, it's a relatively inexpensive alternative to the more professional Godox, more professional Olympus system, which is $480. The other thing is that with these two flashes, naturally you can take them off the flash, off this dual bracket, and use them singly, handheld or in event photography or other kinds of flash situations. Thank you for watching this episode of Totally TM.